I'm Chris. I'm the host of the evening show, and we've got some news to get on to. We covered a little bit over on Gonzo's show, but we can get into some of it. We got a lot, so I'm hoping I can get through of it. Some of the things we're going to be covering tonight is Disneyland's cancellation emails. There's a mysterious blue hole that's appeared off the Gulf Coast of Florida, and Disney taking surveys on the country bears. So let's get into it. All right, first thing we're going to start off with the Avatar sequels have been delayed again, so I guess things are returning to normal. Disney just released a massive restructure of their release calendar, which is to be expected considering virtually every production in Hollywood is on hold due to the coronavirus pandemic. In doing so, the studio revealed that James Cameron's long-awaited Avatar sequels are among the films that are getting pushed back, which historically is another piece of news we should have been expecting. Avatar 2, which has resumed production in New Zealand earlier this summer after a 2-month shutdown, has originally scheduled to be released December 2021. The movie has now been bumped to December 16th, 2022. Meanwhile, Avatar 3 got shuffled from December 2023 to December 2024. Avatar 4 was moved from December 2025 to December 18, 2026, and Avatar 5 was pushed from December 2027 to December 2028. Notably, Disney is still sticking with the holiday release strategy, which proved to be enormously successful for the 2009 original. Yes, you read that correctly. We were currently on track to see Avatar 2 a scant 13 years after the debut of the film. So, let's see. So I think this is to be expected. We're kind of seeing this with all movies. So there's a lot of movies being pushed back. It's not something that's new. It's just something that's going to happen right now. So there's movies being moved back. Some of them are almost falling off the calendar completely. But then again, we got some more news on that. All right. Disney delays a trio of upcoming Star Wars movies by a year each. And a surprise to no one, Disney is delaying a trio of Star Wars movies that had previously been set for release as part of the Mouse House's vast and intricate calendar. The untitled Star Wars movie previously set for release on December 16th, 2022 has been pushed to December 2023. The Untitled Star Wars movie previously set for release on December 2024 has been pushed to December 19th, 2025. And the Untitled Star Wars movie, hey Kay, hey Amy, thanks for coming in. The Untitled Star Wars movie previously set for release on December 2024 has been pushed to, hey Rachel, has been pushed to December 19th, 2025, and the Untitled Star Wars movie previously set for release on December 18th, 2026 has been delayed to December 17th, 2027. The delays are part of a large shift being made to Disney's overall release calendar due to the COVID-19 shutdown. It's a game of dominoes, and when you start shuffling your big 2020 movies into 2021, everything else has to be shuffled back, including the Avatar sequels for the 17th time. Yeah. So, that's what we just read about Avatar. So, yeah. So, it seems like a lot of the movies are being pushed back because of this pandemic, and I think we knew that was going to happen. Yeah, it's unfortunate they're not going to release them all early on Disney Plus, because that would be that really wouldn't benefit them at all. So, but let's move on to some more movie news from Disney. Mulan off the calendar. Disney also delays Avatar, so we've already talked about them by 1 year. We want to hear about the Mulan. Disney is no longer releasing Mulan on August 21st and is unsetting the movie for the time being. Joy, or AMC, was looking to turn the lights back on with a big movie in pockets of the country. Understand that the #1 industry leader at the global box office isn't waiting to see where Warner Brothers places in it next. They just don't want to have to keep rescheduling movies until it's certain. We're up and running again. Disney is also not revealing its playbook, i.e. whether Mulan will debut abroad first before domestic, even though logic would indicate that. Earlier this week, exhibitors and distributors were betting Mulan would stay put, the notion being that the Nikki Caro directed feature adaptation of the 1998 tune would be on Disney Plus by at least Christmas. Yeah, yes, Candy Mom, this is it. Over the last few months, it's become clear that nothing can be set in stone when it comes to how we release films during this global health crisis, and today that means pausing our release plans for Mulan as accesses at how we can most effectively bring this film to audiences around the world, a Disney spokesperson said. So like I read, they showed that the Avatar movies all of them are being moved back a year. All the Star Wars movies that were going to be released are being moved back a year. And, but Mulan, they have not said anything about, which makes me believe that when all this is over and you can start going to the movies again, I have a feeling Mulan's going to come out around that time. Because I can't see Disney holding this back and waiting to see what happens. I'm pretty sure it's completely filmed. They usually film it all a year before, so I think we'll be seeing Mulan hopefully before the end of this year, I would say. All right, let's get into this. I'm looking just in case. Trying to bring you everything that's up to date. Has come in at a certain time. So it looks like it's going to be this. Johnny Depp's former security guard reveals he's basically Jack Sparrow all the time. You know, that would be awesome if you're his friend, but probably not as his wife. Johnny Depp has long been known as an eccentric actor who likes to push creative boundaries, from Edward Scissorhands to the Pirates of the Caribbean. Some of the best and most memorable characters seem to be born from his love and devotion to acting. As it so happens, Depp's former security guard said he's so committed that on the set of a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, he was basically Jack Sparrow all the time. Rick Wood was hired back in 2015 to be Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's security guard while they were in Australia. At the time, Johnny Depp was filming the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Dead Men Tell No Tales. According to 9 News Queensland, Rick Wood got to see Johnny Depp's performance firsthand. Here's what he had to say. He stays in character, so he pretty much Jack Sparrow. Break bloke. I couldn't see it in him, and in my industry, you know who's a wife beater and who's not. Rick Wood's statement about who's a wife beater and who's not points to the ongoing drama between Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard. Johnny Depp filed a libel lawsuit in the UK against The Sun, which published an article with allegations by Amber Heard calling the actor a wife beater. Johnny Depp's defense is that he was never violent towards the actress. Putting all that to the side, let's talk a bit about Johnny Depp's method acting. His former security guard revealing he is Jack Sparrow all the time isn't entirely surprising. After all, it's one of his most popular roles, and the actor is even known for keeping a Jack Sparrow costume on him all the time. Due to Jack Sparrow's popularity, many now associate him with the infamous pirate, even though he played several memorable roles in the past, like Crybaby, Ed Wood, and Ichabod Crane. Still, it seems like after Pirates of the Caribbean, Johnny Depp slipped more into doing unconventional roles. In some of his roles, the actor is totally unrecognizable, though many of these characters are arguably over the top and a little silly. Like his unique portrayal of Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they're memorable all the same and seem to point to his commitment to character. Back in 2018, Johnny Depp talked a bit about how to act and gave some elementary acting advices for anyone wanting to be an actor. But he also said something that might point to the method acting. He said that most difficult part about acting is just to be in a state of being. Of course, for Johnny Depp, that state of being sometimes requires a ridiculous amount of makeup and dressing in eccentric costumes, something the actor seems to enjoy. For more movie news, stay tuned. So, yeah. So I think we all knew Johnny Depp is, when it comes down to it, he's a little out there. And, you know, I really would like to see him, if not in the next Pirates of the Caribbean, to give him the farewell that he deserves, at least mentioned in the next one. So I really don't want to see, I'm hoping this doesn't end up like some of the other movies. But I'm kind of looking forward to seeing this because, I mean, it's Pirates of the Caribbean, it's Disney. I can't see how it wouldn't work, but I think Disney has had that problem in the past. I don't think that's in the news. My scary wallpaper is not in the news, Candy Mom. All right, let's go ahead and move on. All right, looking real quick. All right, here we go. Disneyland Resort sends cancellation emails to guests with reservations through August 22nd. While Walt Disney World's phased reopening is well underway, the Disneyland Resort's reopening remains stalled, with hotel cancellations now extending through August 22nd. Guests with existing reservations has begun to receive email notifying them of the cancellation, which reads as follows. Dear guests, we are sorry to inform you that your upcoming visit with us will be impacted by several closures. We recognize that the COVID-19 situation is constantly evolving, and there are many factors that are helping us determine the timing of these various aspects of our business will reopen in a responsible way. Disneyland Parks and Disney California Adventure Park remains closed and will reopen at a later date pending state and local government approval. The hotels of the Disneyland Resort are also closed and will reopen at a later date. Given this unprecedented situation, we appreciate your patience and understand as we navigate through this process as responsibly as we can. Unfortunately, this means we are unable to accommodate your upcoming hotel room reservation. If you have already modified or canceled your upcoming Disneyland Resort hotel room reservation or Walt Disney Travel Company vacation package, no further action needs to be taken. To prove additional flexibility, we are waiving Disney's imposed change and cancellation fees up to the date of check-in for reservations with arrivals through August 22nd, 2020. If you are unable to reach us before your check-in date for such time period, you will not be penalized or access Disney's imposed fees for canceling your Disneyland Resort hotel room reservation or Walt Disney Travel Company vacation package after your check-in date. Note that some package components are non-refundable and subject to third-party operator cancellation policies. You should work directly with any third-party operator you have used to book any parts of your vacation package that were not booked through the Walt Disney Travel Company, including flights, travel protection, and car rental. So it does not look like Disneyland's going to be opening anytime soon. I would say probably in September is what I would get. So, oh yeah. Yeah, well, the thing is when it comes to Johnny Depp, the reason why they use Keith Richards is when he said how he got the character of Jack Sparrow, it was him putting together Keith Richards and Pepe Le Pew, is what he said. So that's what he said, how he got the character, which is really interesting, those two put together. All right, let's see what we got next. That one. Here we go. So we talked about this a little bit over on Disney Friends, if you're over there with us. Virtual queue booking windows reduced for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance at Disney Hollywood Studios starting July 24th. Walt Disney World recently debuted a modified virtual queue system for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance at Disney's Hollywood Studios, with 3 opportunities to book at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., or 4 p.m. starting Friday, July 24th. Opportunities to join their queue will be reduced and will only be available at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. due to issues with capacity. You can read the full update below. Yeah, as you've also heard here on the Disney Parks blog, which I'm not reading it from, new health and safety measures include limiting theme park attendance and implementing new measures to promote physical distancing, including required extra space between groups and queues and on attraction vehicles. With all this in mind, we are not able to accommodate as many people on Star Wars Rise of the Resistance as we could before we implemented physical distancing. So they're just trying to keep people safe. Unfortunately, it's going to be tougher to get a reservation for the queue, and I know it's a big ride, which is kind of hard. And what's even worse is they've taken away park hopping. So if you can't get it the day that you've planned to go there, then you're not going to get to ride it even when you're there. So that's kind of sad. I would, what I would do, and if you're an annual pass holder, I'm sorry, but what I would state is I would state that anybody who bought a ticket or is staying there that isn't an annual pass holder gets a chance at the queue than what annual pass holders were. And the reason why I say this is because annual pass holders, and I'm talking about the state there in Florida, they've got a better chance of coming back than what somebody out of state does who comes down once, maybe a year. But, I don't know. That just seems like it would seem a little bit fair to me. If you live in Florida and you have an annual pass, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. To me, it just seemed like it would make sense. Here we go. Oh, wow. That's awesome, Candy Mom. No, Kathleen Kennedy is not getting pushed out of Lucasfilm, and there's no internal civil war. LRM's top shelf rumor. Want Kathleen Kennedy to leave Lucasfilm? It may not happen anytime soon. Ever since Star Wars The Last Jedi, there have been rumors of plenty about Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy. Given how little some fans seem to care for the sequel trilogy, I can understand the desire for a change in leadership. While I don't necessarily agree that the sequel trilogy was bad, save for Skywalker, I do think there have been some bad steps from up top in terms of director attention. That being said, fans are eager to see Kennedy leave her position at Lucasfilm and seems eager at every rumor to pop up about it. There have been rumors in recent weeks surrounding a supposed civil war between Kennedy and creative Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, and more recently there's been another one that revolves around Kennedy exiting and being replaced by George Lucas. According to said rumor, Lucas is desperate to return to and save Star Wars. I hear to say that our own source within Lucasfilm say very differently. More specifically, they say there is no talk about Kennedy leaving anytime soon. At present, she has their attention focused on the film side of things over at Lucasfilm, while Favreau and Filoni are more focused on Disney Plus content. Furthermore, our sources added that the rumor Civil War is not true and that the trio's working relationship is fine. So it's kind of hard to tell whenever it comes to this different kinds of news story, because we just had a story the other day that said she was not renewing her contract, that she would be gone after next year. So, you know, it'd be nice to know who's on board, who's not. And of course, if you're going to talk to somebody inside the company, they're going to tell you there's nothing like that going on. They don't want people to think that they're having a problem in their company. I mean, who would do that? I mean, unless you didn't like it at the company and you thought you were going to benefit somehow. That'd be the only way. And the only reason why you might not like it at the company is because there's a civil war going on. But then again, you know, if you were truly loyal to that company, would you be leaking information out to someone else anyway? So I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell because you read one thing from one place and you read another from another place, and you're really not for sure what's going on. All right, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Our next one. All right, so this is just to help out some people that are Cubs fans. I know not everybody in here is a Cubs fan, but so if nobody knows, the Chicago Cubs are on their own network. So good news for Cubs fans without Marquee Sports Network. This is in case my mom's watching later. At least 13 of the 60 games may be available to you on other channels. So what it is right now is if you want to watch the Cubs and they're not on these other channels, they're on the Marquee Network, and a lot of cable companies are not carrying that. Things might not be as bad as feared for Cubs fans who subscribe to television services that aren't carrying Marquee Sports Network. The new channel, the Team and Sinclair Broadcast Group launched. Despite Marquee being the exclusive TV home of Cubs baseball and the club's multi-state TV market as designated by Major League Baseball, it appears more than 20% of their 60 games in the abbreviated 2020 season will be available via other channels. So at least 13 games will be available in the Cubs market away from Marquee. Start with Cubs 6 game versus the White Sox, August 21st and 23rd, September 25th to 27th. They will be on NBC Sports Chicago, the Sox home. And ESPN, 2 Cubs games against the Cardinals on Sunday Night Baseball, August 9th, and St. Louis, and September 6th at Wrigley Field. There you go. I got you, Candy Mom. The Cardinals are in it. Then there are the games Fox 32 has on its schedule Saturday versus the Brewers. So even though it's going to be hard to watch Chicago Cubs, I'm able to get the Marquee channel. I'm not on the same system my mom is, even though she only lives a couple blocks away from me. I cut the cord to cable a long time ago. She hasn't. And I think the thing is because they're too old and don't know how to operate streaming devices. So that might be the problem. Because I've tried to talk them into it, and I don't think they quite understand it. All right, so much for the Cubs. I know that's not usually things we talk about on here, but hey, I know my mom watches sometimes. Okay, here we go. Was that next? No, we have something. There we go. Nope. All right, down here. Yep. Marvel's Hawkeye makes a major move forward as Disney's official delay Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Marvel is moving forward with Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye series. The studio has reportedly hired 3 different directors to helm episodes for the show's first season, which will feature 6 installments dedicated to the Avengers. While fans are looking forward to seeing what Hawkeye has in store, Disney has officially delayed the release of its first Phase 4 series, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Disney announces more MCU delays. A few months ago, Disney delayed all of its upcoming projects in the Marvel Cinematic Universe due to the coronavirus pandemic. There was a lot of hope that at the time that things would go back to normal this summer, which could be why Disney held off on delaying Marvel's new shows on Disney+. But with the pandemic not showing any sign of slowing down, Disney has officially confirmed that its next television show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, will not premiere this August. Filming for this series was halted back in March, and the studio has yet to reveal when the show will hit Disney+. We do know when the series will premiere, but it could be pushed back to the next year if filming doesn't resume soon. It is also unclear how the delay affects other upcoming shows on Disney Plus, including Hawkeye, WandaVision, Loki, and She-Hulk. Marvel's upcoming movie schedule, meanwhile, starts with Black Widow, which is due to premiere in theaters on November 6th. Eternals hits theaters in February 2021, followed by the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings in May 2021. Spider-Man 3 in November for 2021, and Thor Love and Thunder in February 2022. Marvel hires new directors for Hawkeye. Despite the setbacks, Marvel is moving forward with developments on Hawkeye. The studio has yet to reveal any specifics about the show, but NME reports that Marvel has hired 3 up-and-coming directors to helm episodes for the series. So, that sounds, I mean, like I said, there's going to be delays, even for stuff like that, because, I mean, there's a lot of times, I don't know, I mean, I really, Candy Mom, boo Cubs, but, but, yeah, you're going to have that, I mean, but the thing is they're shooting in location and everything, and I don't understand why don't they just utilize the technology that they used in The Mandalorian. So Mandalorian, and what was that called? I think it was called the Volume, is what they were shooting everything in, where they had LCD screens all the way around. And I watched that for The Mandalorian. It was amazing. And I figured they'd be using that for almost everything that Disney does. So, but, you know, hey, maybe not. It's not Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni over there on MCU. Even though Jon Favreau has been over there. It's Kevin Feige. So, alright, what do we got next? I think I had another one here. I'm trying to take them in order, I'm sorry. Read that one. Alright, we got those next. Alright, a little bit more on Marvel. Marvel fans demand Eternals, WandaVision, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier trailers or else. 2020 has been a crazy year for everyone, including Marvel fans who haven't seen a new addition to the MCU in a year. All of the upcoming films have been pushed back, with Black Widow currently set to hit theaters in November, followed by the Eternals in February. Of course, with the current pandemic, that could always change. However, fans have been holding out hope that some of the Marvel series coming to Disney Plus will drop this year. There haven't been any releases dates announcements lately other than Falcon and the Winter Soldier will not be hitting the streaming site in August as originally planned. While fans are being patient, there is one thing they desperately crave: trailers. We haven't seen any new footage at the Disney Plus show since the Super Bowl trailer dropped back in February, and there have been 0 trailers for the Eternals. We want the trailers for Eternals, WandaVision, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier right now. So, yeah, so they're demanding trailers, which I understand. Trailers actually, I don't know, when I see a trailer, I get happy, you know, knowing that the movie I want to see is coming out really soon. So, I don't disagree with them, but if they've been halted and they really don't have anything to make the trailer with, it would kind of make that kind of hard. So, I would hope they would be able to. All right. Moving on. SeaWorld Orlando offering free admission to veterans and their loved ones. Military veterans and their families can enjoy a day at SeaWorld Orlando free of charge. The theme park is offering single-day tickets to veterans and up to 3 family members through its Waves of Honor program. We hold the men and women that have served in our armed forces in the highest regard and are honored to host them at our parks as guests, SeaWorld's website said. Tickets must be used by November 11th of this year. U.S. active duty military, activated or drill reservists or National Guardsmen can also land the same deal and receive 1 single-day ticket for themselves and 3 family members. Those who are interested in taking advantage of either promotion must have a valid ID. So I didn't see. They obviously being retired isn't one of them, but guess what? No, I did retire. I am still considered in. But yeah. So this is awesome. You know, they're always showing some stuff. You know, showing their appreciation of the troops. I always like seeing that kind of stuff. It's always nice. All right, let's see. We covered that. Oh, here we go. Let's see, are we out of those? We are. All right, here we go. All right, for some weird stuff. Scientists blocked a mysterious blue hole off Florida's Gulf Coast. Scientists are flocking to Florida's Gulf Coast for a glimpse of a mysterious 425 feet deep blue hole on the ocean floor. The glowing mystery hole, about 155 feet below the water's surface, is similar to the sinkholes seen on solid land, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The site, dubbed the Green Banana, has been a hot topic for scientists and deep-sea explorers who've been hoping for a glimpse of the phenomena from afar. Surprisingly, the first reports of blue holes came from fishermen and recreational divers, not scientists or researchers. In general, the holes appear to host diverse biological communities full of marine life, including coral, sponge, mollusk, sea turtles, and sharks. NOAA scientists have collected 17 water samples from the area surrounding the hole, along with 4 sediments samples. Remarkably, they also discovered 2 dead but intact small-toothed sawfish, an endangered species, at the bottom of the hole. According to NOAA, remains of one of the animals were recovered for examination. NOAA scientists plan to embark on a new mission to a second, deeper area of the hole in August. That mission will consist of a team of scientists from Mote Marine Laboratory, Florida, Atlantic University, Georgia Institute of Technology, and the U.S. Geological Society, according to the NOAA. Researchers are interested in studying the seawater chemistry in the hole for its unique qualities. Little is known about the blue hole due to their lack of accessibility and unknown distribution and abundancy. NOAA said in a statement that the opening of a blue hole can be several hundred feet underwater, and for many holes, the opening is too small for an automated submersible. Researchers don't know much about blue holes, but scientists are hoping to learn if the holes are connected to Florida's groundwater, or if there is groundwater intrusion into the Gulf of Mexico. They're also looking to see if a particular blue hole secrets nutrients or harbors microenvironments or new species of microbes. No, I haven't. I just haven't shaved. I'll probably do it tomorrow. But that's kind of interesting. A weird hole off the coast, the Gulf Coast of Florida. Kind of weird. Makes you wonder. I guess it'd be a sinkhole underwater, but for it to have like a whole different kind of its own, like, and different microbes and everything, that make you wonder if it had been there the whole time and then that it just got uncovered. Who knows? It's kind of weird. All right, let's see. We covered that. All right, here we go. This is a little off of Disney. The last one was a little way off of Disney, but it was Florida. Will Smith was the biggest star attached to the DCEU during the early Zack Snyder-driven years of the franchise, but it would be fair to say that they never made the most of his presence. He may have been the de facto leading man in Suicide Squad, but was never given the opportunity to utilize his undeniable charisma. With his performance clearly in the can before, the studio decides to lighten the tone. The gang of anti-heroes are currently in the midst of being rebooted by James Gunn, and Smith isn't involved. Idris Elba was initially announced to be replacing him as Deadshot before Warner Brothers changed their mind and decided that he would be better off playing a different character instead. Not long after Suicide Squad's release, the former Fresh Prince admitted that he was still keen on the idea of headlining a solo movie, but there's been very little word on his DCEU status since then. However, he shared Universe is currently one of the WB's top priorities, with the Snyder Cut of Justice League and Michael Keaton's return and The Flash opening up an unlimited range of storytelling possibilities, and we've now heard that the studios are making a concerted effort to bring Deadshot back into the fold, having flirting with the idea in the past. You know, that would really be neat. I think I'd really like to see him come back as Deadshot. I like Will Smith, obviously. I don't know very many people who don't like Will Smith. I think he's a great actor. But yeah, I don't think they really gave him a chance there when they did Suicide Squad. But you know, who knows? Maybe they'll bring him back as him, or maybe they'll bring him back as another character if they're changing things up. Elvis, you know, the funny thing is, you're like Elvis Abba or what? I know his name, I just can't think of it. But, you know, seeing him at Marvel and then wanting to move him to the DC, it's just kind of weird. All right, here we go. Cast members keeping track of cream cheese pretzel request after removal from snack stands menus at Walt Disney World. Cream cheese pretzels are a lesser known but no less beloved Disney park snack. However, the popular food item was notably missing after the reopening of Walt Disney World theme park, as many menu changes have occurred across property. These changes have hit many snack kiosks around the park, including the outside of the Chinese Theater and Disney's Hollywood Studios, one that well known for the offering. During a recent trip to Disney's Hollywood Studios while walking by the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway snacks kiosk, was noticed a tray bit receipt paper that flew off the stand. Oh, wow. Upon closer inspection, the note was titled Cream Cheese Pretzel Requests and included a total of the number of guests who had inquired about the availability of the cream cheese pretzel. The note tallied 15 guests who'd asked about the beloved park snack so far, although without a date. It's unknown whether that number reflected requests for that specific date, for the week, or since the park opening. So, yeah. So, I've never had a cream cheese pretzel. I don't know if anybody else is in here has, but I've heard a lot of people talk about how they love them. And it looks like Disney is at least keeping some kind of track on people asking when they're going to return. So I know there's a lot of things that it seems like become popular and Disney gets rid of. I know there for a while they had the cheeseburger spring rolls, and those were big, and then all of a sudden they went away and people were asking for them, and they finally brought them back. I have had the pizza spring rolls, which I think are awesome. But yeah. So I think Disney has a hard time. I don't know. Are they removing something because they don't think it's selling well, or I don't know why? Because to me, you always hear people talking like something like that is popular, and then they take it away. So I just don't get it whenever it comes to that with Disney, unless they're trying to create a demand for it. I don't know. So, but if it's selling, why not leave it? All right, here we go. Land Pavilion implements one-way guest traffic patterns at Epcot for social distancing. During our day at Epcot, we decided to pop into the Land Pavilion to see if anything had changed. Turns out the pavilion now has designated one-way directions to follow through, mainly across the second floor of the pavilion for guests entering and exiting. As we headed up the entrance, we noticed these directional changes already been being made as guests are kept to the right side of the ramp to enter and the left side to exit. Once we stepped inside, we were greeted by a cast member as well as seeing the new directional markers to keep us moving through the right side of the pavilion. A stanchier barrier. I don't know what that is. It's a rope. Was placed to keep guests to the appropriate side of the pavilion. And these one-way direction leads guests right by Awesome Planet, passing the extended queue outside of the Harvest Theater. As we approached the Garden Grill restaurant, we were met with another barrier keeping guests moving down the escalator and stairs to the lower level of the pavilion. So what it sounds like is they've just decided they are moving guests in a certain way to try to keep safe. So let's move on. All right. Hasbro unveils new Smuggler run Millennium Falcon plus more Star Wars figures. San Diego Comic-Con originally had been scheduled for this week ahead of its shift towards an online showcase. Hasbro is debuting a series of new collectibles for Star Wars fans, headlined by a lineup of retro-inspired figures and vehicles from its vintage collection. Upcoming release includes a Smuggler's Run Millennium Falcon alongside icon characters from The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi and the 501st Legion ARC Trooper. Head below for a look at all the new releases and to find out when you can add them to your collection. Hasbro's expanded vintage. So this really sounds pretty awesome. So yeah, what's kind of funny is hey Gonzo, thanks for coming in. So, yeah. So I think we talked about this the other day when Gonzo was on it. So this is a Smuggler's Run Millennium Falcon that they got coming out. And, yeah, they got Doc Ondar. I'm sorry. They got Hondo Anaka. He's part of it. And they got Chewbacca. So that's the two that's on there. And there's a Porg. There's a couple Porgs in there. So, it looks like it'd be something neat. I don't think it might be the same one that Gonzo and I was talking about. So, maybe that's what's going on. But, yeah, it look. I just wonder how much it costs. It says the Vintage Collection. So, let's move on. Here we go. A beloved Adam Sandler movie is returning to Netflix next month. I like Adam Sandler. I don't know. Everybody else likes Adam Sandler. Most people would probably agree that Adam Sandler is one of the most divisive actors out there. Though this work usually performs pretty well financially and always manages a draw in a crowd, whether it's on Netflix or in a theater, his lowbrow comedic efforts never go over well with critics who constantly call him out for phoning in his performance. That being said, he's certainly capable of stepping it up and delivering award-worthy work. I mean, just look at Uncut Gems, a film that many thought would earn him an Oscar nomination. There's no doubt the man is talented, but he also knows that what his fans want, and most of them genuinely enjoy those aforementioned comedic efforts, no matter how low the humor stoops. Take Mr. Deeds, for example, with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 22%. This 2002 film was trashed by critics, yet if asked many Sandler fans, they'll happily rewatch it anytime it appears on their screen. Indeed, it's a favorite among the followers, and though it's been away from Netflix for a while, it'll be returning to the platform on August 1st. Man, yeah, it seems like the critics always get it wrong, and that's what happens with some movies a lot of times. But I mean, we see it with not only those movies, we see it with Disney movies where the critics will hit it pretty hard, and then times it becomes an underrated movie because some people won't go see it because of what critics said. And a lot of times I don't want to do that anymore because it seems like a lot of times the critics are wrong. So yeah, you could go on Rotten Tomatoes and you could see what the critics rate it and then see how, and it always seems like it's the opposite. So yeah, I liked Mr. Deeds. I thought it was a good movie. Of course, it's his kind of comedy. So I mean, if you say he's phoning it in, I don't know how you would get that he's phoning it in because that's Adam Sandler's kind of comedy. So wow, I can't believe we had all of that news report and we actually got through it pretty quick. So sometimes that's what happens with the news I report. Some days I go an hour and some days I end a little short. So I thank everybody in the chat for stopping in. Gonzo, Kay, Candy Mom. Who else? Do we have anybody else? Did I miss anybody? Yeah. I think Jeffrey was in here. Was Jeffrey in here? Oh, Amy from AJC Magic. Thank you for coming in. No, it doesn't look like Jeffrey was in here. Oh, yeah, Keith was in here. Thanks for coming in, Keith, if you're still in here. But, so today is Thursday. I usually only do it Monday through Thursday, so I will not be back to do this again until Monday. So, I'll catch you Monday for the evening show with more Disney and entertainment news. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the thumb up, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button. But as for that, that's going to be it. I hope you have a good evening, and I will see you Monday for the evening show.